You know that moment when everyone around you is just there, laughing, talking, existing inside the experience, and you're the one holding up your phone, adjusting the angle, trying to get the light right. And there's this split second where you wonder if you're missing something. Not the photo, something else. That quiet flicker of doubt. Most people push it away quickly, but some people carry it longer than they should. There's a certain kind of person who moves through the world with this almost invisible need to hold onto things, not because they're distracted, not because they're addicted to their phone, but because something inside them has always felt like moments are slipping, like experience itself is a little too fast, a little too fleeting, and if they don't catch it somehow, it disappears as though it never happened at all. Society doesn't have a kind word for this. Stop filming and just live. You were on your phone the whole time. The assumption is always that capturing is the opposite of experiencing, that the camera is a wall between you and the moment. That somehow being present means hands empty, eyes wide, nothing recorded. But that framing misses almost everything that's actually happening inside a person who reaches for their phone at a concert, or photographs their dinner before they eat it, or films a conversation with their grandmother they've had 100 times before. This isn't about social media. It isn't about seeking validation or performing a life for strangers. For a lot of people, maybe for you, it goes much deeper than that. And it's rarely explained correctly. What's actually happening is something psychologists call experiential preservation, a pattern where the brain, particularly one with a heightened sensitivity to loss, tries to extend the lifespan of experience beyond the moment itself. It's not about the future audience. It's about the self. A self that has learned somewhere along the way that good things end, that beauty is fragile, that people leave, places change, and time moves without asking permission. Research in memory neuroscience tells us something fascinating about this. When you photograph or record an experience, you're activating a part of the brain associated with future simulation. The hippocampus doesn't just store the past, it also builds imagined futures. People who capture moments often aren't trying to live in the past. They're trying to build a future self who still has access to that feeling. The photo isn't a replacement for the experience. It's a bridge to a version of themselves who can return to it. This often starts early, not dramatically, quietly. Maybe you grew up in a home where things shifted a lot, people moved, families fractured, stability came and went. Or maybe nothing dramatic happened at all, but you were the kind of child who noticed things deeply, who felt the end of things a summer, a friendship, a Sunday afternoon before anyone else did. Your nervous system learned to pay attention in a particular way, to register beauty and meaning with a kind of urgency that other people don't quite feel with the same intensity. Capturing became a way of honoring that, a way of saying this mattered, I was here, it happened. That's not a disorder, it's not a flaw in how you were built. It's an adaptation, a sophisticated one, that your mind developed to manage the particular kind of grief that comes from loving transience while being afraid of it. And none of this is better or worse than living without a camera in hand. Some people move through experiences without needing to hold them. Their nervous systems process joy in real time and release it cleanly. That's not more evolved. It's just different architecture. There's no hierarchy here, just different ways of being in time. But here's the part that most people don't talk about. There's a paradox at the center of this pattern. The very act of trying to hold onto a moment can sometimes pull you partially out of it, not because you're distracted, but because you've shifted from experiencing to witnessing. You become the documentarian of your own life for just a second, and sometimes that second costs you something small, a texture of feeling that only exists when you're fully submerged. But there's a hidden strength on the other side of that trade-off. People who capture moments often remember them differently, Not more accurately, necessarily, but more richly. The act of framing something, deciding it's worth keeping, encodes it with a layer of intention. You told your brain, this is significant, and the brain listens. Studies on intentional attention show that what we deliberately notice, we tend to hold longer, feel more deeply, and return to more vividly. So the person with the camera isn't absent from the moment. They're often the one who will carry it the furthest. If this is you, if you've ever felt the quiet embarrassment of being the one filming, or wondered if your need to capture things means you can't just be present, what you're doing makes complete sense. Your relationship with time isn't broken, it's intimate. You feel the weight of moments in a way that not everyone does. You know that they end. And so you've built a way of loving them that extends past the ending. That's not absence. That's a particular kind of devotion. You're not missing your life by trying to hold on to it. You're expressing something true about how much it means to you. There's one more layer to this. Something about the kind of people who do this, and how they experience connection, memory, and meaning in ways that go quietly unrecognized. If that feels like something worth exploring, it's worth staying with.